Hello, my name's Sophie. Today I'm going to be talking about pros and cons of nuclear energy and climate change, whether or not it is human caused. So, first of all, one of my first facts is going to be nuclear energy has no carbon emissions, which is awesome. Most other forms of energy do have carbon emissions, such as oil or gas. Extracting those releases a lot of carbon emissions into the atmosphere. Second one is it's relatively safe. So there have been some accidents before, but with new technology coming, it is fairly safe to use. Third one, it provides lots of energy. It can one power plant can provide energy for millions and millions of people, which is great. Another one con of it is that it's super expensive to build. It costs around $6 to $8 billion depending on the power plant, and it's going to cost lots of taxpayer dollars to switch over to that form of energy. Another con is that it needs to be updated. So a lot of our nuclear plants that we have in place right now are super old, which is one of the reasons why we had those radioactive meltdowns, and the systems just need to be updated. Another one is that it produces radioactive waste, which is not so great. We do have a power plant or nuclear waste storage plant in Yucca Mountain, which is not too far from us. But that is a place where it is currently being stored. Now going into climate change, whether or not it is human caused. So one of the first facts that I have that goes against human causation is that average temperature is increasing every single year just because we are releasing so much CO2 in the atmosphere, and that CO2 can actually be correlated with the average temperature based on how much we've been releasing every year. Another con is that CO2 levels are at an all-time high. They're around 550 parts per million. Another one is that ice is disappearing. It's disappearing in the Arctic, it's disappearing in Greenland, it's disappearing in almost every place in the world. Going against it being human causation, I have possible shift in Earth's rotation could be one of the causes for our climate changing like it is right now. Climate data is fairly new, so it's something that we're not exactly 120% sure on whether or not it is human caused, just because we don't have this data is fairly new and that we've only been collecting it for maybe 20-30 years or so. Another one is that climate has changed before. So we have had situations in the past where we've gone into an ice age and our climate is just changing. So to just summarize those two, there's lots of pros and cons to nuclear energy, and it's something that we should definitely consider in the future. Going into climate change, it is something that is definitely an argument in everyday life, and it's definitely very interesting to look at.